And the reason why I set it up, the three-man militia, the way I did, the biggest reason was because of justice. One person to make that decision on what needs to be done is too hard on that one person. In combat, when you are you pull out your weapons, you're shooting people, and you make decisions at that time, you know, that's one thing. Now, after the shooting's all over, and then you need to make decisions, it's best when you can share that decision making with someone else. That's the three-man militia stuff. Now, I mentioned the three-man militia can work with regular militias. Yes. It's difficult, and the reason is the three-man militia is based on morals, running on morals. A regular militia is not. It's a type of a martial law. They're taking orders from someone. And the good thing about that is when you have captured somebody, you can turn them over to them, let them make the determination on what it is that they're going to do with them. But I can tell you, when it comes to captives, it's going to be there's going to be a certain degree of torture involved. I see. I don't even like going down that direction. So we're going to change directions on this. Okay, three-man militia. Yeah. Hola.
¿Quién nos atiende? ¿Es el dueño?
¿Cómo?
¿Es el dueño?
Yo no.
¿Allá?
Casa.
¿Quién nos atiende?
Okay. No, yo comprende poco.
¿Quién? No hay un encargado. Queremos hablar.
¿Agente?
¿Sí?
Let's see. Aquí no mucha gente. No
Why?
mucho. No mucho. En la casa, no necesita. No problem. Okay. Sí. I thought I put this thing on pause. I guess I didn't. I had to do my talking, and but okay. In the way of three-man militia, making determining justice in long term. You notice I don't have a justice three-man militia. There isn't any on that. And that's something that these militias are going to have to work out for themselves. Right now, you would think stealing is stealing. Okay. After the shit hits the fan situation, stealing is determined on, well, there's a lot of things that makes the determination. One thing is what was stolen, and that makes a difference. It just depends. A lot of it depends. And sometimes stealing can be taken care of with a good beating, a physical beating. Not, I don't know if you would, like the movies, they use a whip or they use all this stuff. I'm not sure about that. In general, on the depending on the severity, yeah, how bad the stealing is. A good brutal beating using your hands is will get the point across. I can see there's times when you would use public type, like a public hanging. But I could see where, they would use whips out in public and stuff like that. I can see it. Now I'll tell you, I know a lot of you thinking, boy, Mike, you're really weird. I'll tell you, when I was in Vietnam, I saved a can of peaches. A can of peaches. And I had this can of peaches, and I carried this can of peaches around. I saved it. There's very few things that make combat in the jungles of Vietnam a thing to celebrate. But I carried this can of peaches for when I felt it was time for me to celebrate. I wanted a can of peaches. And I had a guy steal my can of peaches. And I brutally beat him. Close to death. I used my hands. And everybody just stood back. Everybody just stood back. So I did a public beating on him. Everybody watched as I started beating on him, and it just continued beating on him, and no one stopped. At first, someone realized that I've caught the guy that stole my pizzas. And so when people would come up there and want to break up the fight, they would say, that guy stole Mike's peaches. Everybody stood back. Okay. Now, in combat, you don't have much. You have your backpack, and that's all you have. I lived in the jungle for 13 months. The only thing that I had was what I could carry. And that's everybody. It's not just me, everybody. So you can only carry so many cigarettes. Beer, how much beer can you carry? For all this, you're still carrying all your ammunition, guns, food. You're carrying a lot of stuff. So you can only take so much stuff. And that can of peaches was very special. So, thievery is not put up with very much. Now, if someone makes it a habit of stealing, he will die. No telling what. But you normally get one warning, maybe two. If you call a brutal beating a warning, that's what you're going to get. Okay. Now, the three-man militia. I talk about our community. And I've had to think about how are we going to handle immoral acts. His stealing is immoral. No más? Okay. Gracias. Muchas gracias. But are we going to have some type of military tribunal in our community? Probably not. And the main reason, now it may, if it comes up to really bad things like murder among ourselves, then it may be. I say murder among ourselves because there's going to be times when we have to do things and there'll be a line, a very faint line between murder and justified killing. And we're just going to have to watch that. And if that person makes a habit of it, then we may have to do something. Because under those conditions, your mental thinking isn't right. And your morals are being put to the test. And you're going to make mistakes. Wow, man, isn't that terrible? Taking someone's life, it was a mistake. We'll just have to learn from it and do better next time. Mike, you call that being moral?